Hey there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga channel. And it's Q again. And yes, this is yet another PAR video. For those of you that have never seen my first video on the PAR, you should go check it out. I'll either put it in the description below, or you can find it by running through my channel. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and spend a little bit more time, not a lot of time, just a brief amount of time, going over how to actually import footage. So the last time we saw this, and you really couldn't see it too well, the footage that was outputting. Also, I didn't really show you importing footage and how that works and how fast or slow that is. Let's resolve that right now.
This computer will rule the world.
As you can see over here, we have this beautiful Samsung television. Yes, the 24-inch Samsung TV. This sucker has got a pile of inputs on the back of it, as you can see here. Pile of inputs. Every input an Amiga or retro computer person or retro gaming person might actually want. With all these inputs, no, it does not do Amiga 15 kilohertz. It's just not going to happen. What it does do with its analog input is give you this beautiful looking image, as you can see here. And yes, it is flicker fixed, so don't worry about that. There's no interlace flicker using the analog input on here, so that's pretty slick. And yep, here's that same video I played last time. Now you can actually see it properly. And what's really awesome about this monitor from Samsung is that it, again, because it's a TV, it has a softer image instead of like a computer monitor, which is going to have a much sharper pitch to it, more pixels. It just doesn't look like a TV computer monitors. They look a little too crisp for me. But this, has that nice crisp look to it. And of course, yes, it has a 4x3, 16x9 switch, so that you can actually see this the way it's supposed to look. So I'm really liking this improvement here of getting the PAR output on a more proper display. Is it an NTSC display? Well, technically yes, but it's not a CRT display, of course not. But it's a darn good looking LCD display. So let's see if I can remember how to import. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is grab footage. Now, normally, you'd have your Lightwave, okay, and you're in here, and I'm not gonna go through a whole Lightwave thing for you guys, because I've done that numerous times in other videos. Normally, you do your animation in Lightwave, go in here and render, save out your frames, do all this business, and there you go. So you've got your Lightwave animation saved out, you've done your frames, you can save out IFFs, you can save out TGAs, BMPs even, or something weird like that. You go ahead and you can import them into the PAR. In my case, I actually just used my network share and used Directory Opus, basically just fired up good old Directory Opus here, and I copied over some stuff. So if we go over here to my work partition and we go up in here to Lightwave, this is my local Lightwave now, not my network shared Lightwave. We go to renders, you can see in here we have Apple Water and Warp Prep. So we got a couple of fun things to play with here, and we'll go ahead and bring those in. So let's flip back over to the PAR, and let's see if I can remember how to do this. Now, as you can see here, there's a stills project, there's a video project. I might want to go ahead and make a new project. Let's call this Q. All right, so there's nothing in here right now. And let's see if it's just as simple as clicking on something over here. Like, let's go to Work, Lightwave, Renders, and let's bring in Apple Water. I've never actually seen this Apple Water in its full, beautiful glory on my Amiga. It's always been a low-res Ham 8 animation, so being able to see it over here in the PAR could be pretty interesting. So I believe you just do a select all, and what do you think we do? Is there an import button? Join, rename, split, export, move, append, new project, chart map, grab, film, E-frame, Q factor. How many of you are paying really, really close attention? You're like, Q, right here, where it says import. You can even do a short key, a hotkey of capital I Q, right there, Q. Pay attention. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and click import. They ask you, are you really sure? Think about it, because this is not going to be, if I remember correctly, exactly a fast process. Now, it's going to be a much faster process than a single frame record VCR, with hopefully far less chances of errors. So as you can see here, it's importing Apple Water 001.iff. You'll see the PAR over here screen go blank. So what you're going to see the PAR screen doing is every time it successfully imports a frame, and then packs it into its little wrapper that it uses to play back, you'll see the frame display on the screen over there. Oh, Q, what did you do? You didn't read. How many people watching this video for the second time said, Q, there's the import button right there? How many people said, Q, you're going to make an animation, right? You notice this says still. Who's an idiot, folks? Q's an idiot. Let's try that again. Q, pay attention this time. All right, Q. Import. Anim. Yes. Apple water. Hey, look at that. Frame 1 of 100. All right. So let's go ahead and let this play again. And hey, folks, never do what I do. I make mistakes so you don't have to. Just look at the screen, look at the options, even if you don't have the manual. If you spend more than 3 seconds looking at the interface, you can figure out what it is you're supposed to do. You know, I don't do that. So remember earlier when it said, like in all caps, are you sure? When I selected all those images and said import, and this was set to still instead of anim, it said, are you sure? Yeah, I was really sure, wasn't I? So yeah, really make sure you set this to anim before doing this. So as you can see, it's still going. We're up to like 81 of 100 now. And this is definitely something you would do during your lunch break, you know, queue up a bunch of stuff. Queue, get it? And you know, import it and go to lunch break. Or maybe if your animation was less than 100 frames, this is a pretty long animation, really. At 30 frames a second, you know, 100 frames, then you could, you know, maybe have a smoke break. I don't smoke, but, you know, some people smoke break. Come back and maybe your little, you know, 60 frame animation or 45 frame animation might be done. All right, so now we are about done. There you go. And if you look back over here, got our beautiful apple water. Now should Playback has an actual anim. Now, if it looks a little dark, that's my fault. And this is a great example of why having a nice display that can give you the max color output of your various renders and animations, you have something to look at it on and judge it by. Because I created this originally on my Amiga, actually 3000, and then I finished it on my 1200, all which had different monitors. I kind of was just guessing the intensity of the lighting and what it looked like by playing it back on those machines. Well, now that we've gone through this and imported it into the 2500, gotten it onto this, you can see that, well, yeah, it's pretty bright, but probably could be a little brighter. So let's go ahead and click play. Oh, by the way, down here is your FPS. I created this animation based on 30 frames per second speed, but you can set this to 24 FPS, or you can set it to 25, or you know, you can set it to 60 really, but just keep in mind you want to have the FPS playback match your intended playback. Otherwise it's going to look a little weird. And there you go. Look at the beautiful apple water bobbing in there. Yeah, so the last time we've ever seen this on this channel, it was playing back as a small, like, you know, tiny little Ham 8 animation in a window. I believe I posted this on Doug's Facebook group, the Amiga Art channel, which is a fun group. A lot of great work on there. But seeing it now, finally, for the first time in full NTSC quality as was intended, yeah, that's beautiful. I love the water effect. Keep in mind, this is Lightwave from 1991 or so. This is a long time ago, but even back then, Lightwave did amazing water effects and displacement and bump mapping, as you can see there. Just really, really pretty. In fact, if we hit stop here, we can go ahead and scrub through and you can kind of see all that it's doing there. That's pretty slick. I really love Lightwave. We used to call this back in the day, this water effect, Lightwave Miracle Water. Why? Because it's just a miracle. You click a couple buttons and you get water that works. Now the Apple, you might be thinking, well, is that some kind of physics or dynamics? No, of course not. There were some programs back then that did do physics. I know the standalone 3D animation package, Real 3D, had a rather robust physics system in it, even back then, yes. But no, that's just hand animation. That's me just, hand animating the apple, bobbling and rolling around in the water, which, I enjoy. I enjoy doing stuff the old-fashioned way. Even to this day, with all of our amazing technology, I still hand animate a lot of things that other artists might use tools or rigs for, because I just enjoy the process a lot. And I honestly hope you all have enjoyed this shorter video of me doing this again with the PAR here. I really appreciate you putting up with somebody like me who doesn't really know as much as they should about this when they show it. I know that frustrates some folks. I don't know what I'm doing, but I love showing how I used to use it, at least to the extent of my knowledge back then, even today. And just getting the 2500 fired up and getting this imported and seeing this animation. This is just a treat. I love doing this, and I'm so glad I have this system set up now. And what I'll probably do, since my Amiga room here also doubles as my work from home office, while I'm working and I have to do render breaks, I'll probably start importing more and more footage into this PAR from old projects I've done, and maybe even some new projects to see how they look on here. How about that? Thanks for watching this quickish video, and I hope you enjoyed the buffoonery and seeing some more Amiga 2500 par action. I'm done with this video.